Welcome to Alborz Province, Iran's youngest province, yet one steeped in the deepest history. From the bustling industrial city of Karaj to the pristine mountain villages of Taleghan, from the ancient fortress of Alamut to the modern ski slopes of Dizin, this is a journey through a land of contrast, beauty, and enduring significance. Over the next hour, we'll explore how this province, created in 1995, has become a microcosm of Iran itself, a place where tradition and modernity dance together against the backdrop of some of the world's most spectacular mountain scenery. Alborz Province, Iran, documentary Water is Life in Iran, and Alborz Province is blessed with abundant water resources. The Karaj River, the province's primary waterway, begins its journey high in the mountains and flows southward, providing water for millions of people in both Alborz Province and Tehran. The Karaj Dam, completed in 1961, created a massive reservoir that not only provides water and electricity, but has also become a recreational destination for city dwellers seeking respite from urban life. The dam's construction represented Iran's modernization efforts in the mid-20th century, transforming the region's economy and lifestyle. Alborz Province's elevation changes create distinct climate zones within a relatively small area. In the southern lowlands around Karaj, at about 1,300 meters elevation, the climate is semi-arid, with hot summers and mild winters. But climb into the mountains and you enter a completely different world. Above 2,000 meters, the climate becomes alpine, with heavy snowfall in winter and cool summers. These high-altitude areas remain snow-covered for much of the year, creating a water reservoir that feeds the rivers and springs below. The snow line varies with the seasons, creating a dynamic landscape that changes dramatically throughout the year. This climatic diversity supports an equally diverse ecosystem. The province is home to brown bears, Persian leopards, wild boar, and over 200 bird species. The Alborz Mountains serve as a crucial corridor for wildlife migration between the Caspian region and the central Iranian plateau. Vegetation zones reflect the altitude gradient, from sparse desert shrubs in the south to dense deciduous forests on the northern slopes. These forests, dominated by oak, ash, and maple, are remnants of the ancient Hyrcanian forests that once covered much of northern Iran. Human presence in what is now Alborz Province stretches back to the dawn of civilization. Archaeological evidence suggests that hunter-gatherer communities inhabited these mountain valleys over 10,000 years ago, drawn by the abundant water and diverse wildlife. By the Bronze Age, around 3,000 years ago, sophisticated agricultural communities had established themselves in the river valleys. These early inhabitants learned to harness the mountain streams for irrigation, creating the foundation for the agricultural traditions that continue today. The Achaemenid Empire, founded by Cyrus the Great in 550 BCE, recognized the strategic importance of the Alborz region. The mountains provided a natural fortress protecting the heartland of Persia, while the passes through the range became crucial trade routes connecting the Iranian plateau with the Caspian Sea region. Under the Parthian and Sassanid dynasties, the region flourished as a summer retreat for Persian nobility. The cool mountain climate provided relief from the heat of the lowlands, and elaborate hunting parks and gardens were constructed in the valleys. These early examples of Persian garden design would influence landscape architecture for centuries to come. Perhaps no period in the region's history captures the imagination quite like the era of Alamut Castle, the legendary eagle's nest of the Nizari Ismailis. Built in 1090 CE on a seemingly impregnable rocky outcrop in the Alamut Valley, this fortress became the center of one of the most fascinating chapters in medieval Islamic history. Under the leadership of Hassani Saba, Alamut became the headquarters of the Nizari Ismailis, a Shia Islamic sect that challenged the Sunni Seljuk Empire. The castle's strategic location, perched 2,163 meters above sea level, made it virtually unconquerable and allowed the Ismailis to control key trade routes through the mountains. The legend of the assassins, a corruption of Hashishiya, emerged from this period, though modern historians debate the accuracy of medieval accounts. What is certain is that the Ismailis of Alamut developed sophisticated military and political strategies that allowed them to maintain independence for over 150 years. Alamut was not just a military stronghold, but also a center of learning. The castle housed one of the finest libraries in the Islamic world, containing works on philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, and theology. Scholars from across the Islamic world came to study here, making Alamut a beacon of intellectual achievement. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century brought this golden age to an end. In 1256, the Mongol general Hulagu Khan captured Alamut after a brief siege. The great library was destroyed, and the castle was dismantled, though its ruins still dominate the valley, a testament to this remarkable period of history. For centuries after the fall of Alamut, the region remained largely rural, with scattered villages engaged in agriculture and animal husbandry. The 20th century brought dramatic changes that would transform this quiet mountain region into one of Iran's most important provinces. Under Reza Shah Pahlavi in the 1920s and 1930s, Iran embarked on an ambitious modernization program. The construction of the Trans-Iranian Railway connected the region to the rest of the country, while new roads opened up previously isolated valleys. These infrastructure projects laid the groundwork for future development. The real transformation began in the 1960s and 1970s with the rapid growth of Karaj. Iran's oil wealth funded massive development projects, and Karaj became an industrial center, manufacturing everything from automobiles to textiles. The city's proximity to Tehran made it an ideal location for industries serving the capital's growing population. The 1979 Islamic Revolution brought political change, but didn't halt the region's growth. If anything, the new government's emphasis on self-sufficiency and industrial development accelerated the province's transformation. The Iran-Iraq War of the 1980s brought refugees from the war zones, further boosting the population. In 1995, recognizing the region's distinct identity and growing importance, the Iranian government created Alborz Province by separating it from Tehran Province. This administrative change reflected the area's evolution from a rural hinterland to a major economic and population center in its own right. The cultural heritage of Alborz Province reflects its position at the crossroads of different Persian traditions. The province's artisans have maintained ancient crafts while adapting to modern markets, creating a living bridge between past and present. Carpet weaving remains one of the most celebrated traditional crafts. Each region within the province has developed its own distinctive patterns and techniques. The carpets of Taleghan are known for their geometric designs and rich colors, while those from the Alamut region often feature more naturalistic motifs inspired by the surrounding landscape. Metalworking traditions date back centuries, with artisans specializing in copper, silver, and brass work. The town of Hashtgird is particularly famous for its skilled metalworkers who create everything from traditional tea sets to modern decorative items. These crafts provide income for rural communities while preserving ancient techniques. Pottery and ceramic work flourish in areas with suitable clay deposits. Traditional pottery serves both functional and decorative purposes, with techniques passed down through generations. Modern ceramic artists in the province blend traditional Persian motifs with contemporary designs, creating pieces that appeal to both local and international markets. The musical traditions of Alborz Province reflect both its Persian heritage and its mountain culture. Folk music here often tells stories of pastoral life, seasonal changes, and the eternal relationship between humans and the natural world. Traditional instruments include the tar, a long-necked lute, the tombak, a goblet-shaped drum, and the ney, a reed flute whose haunting sound echoes through the mountain valleys. These instruments accompany both formal performances and informal gatherings, where music serves as a social bond. Dance traditions vary by region, but all share a connection to the agricultural calendar and seasonal celebrations. The Nowruz, New Year celebrations in March, feature elaborate performances that welcome spring and celebrate renewal. These dances often incorporate movements that mimic agricultural work or natural phenomena. Contemporary artists in the province draw inspiration from these traditional forms while incorporating modern elements. The proximity to Tehran provides access to international influences, creating a dynamic cultural scene that honors the past while embracing innovation. The cuisine of Alborz Province reflects both its mountain geography and its agricultural abundance. Traditional dishes make use of local ingredients: lamb and goat from mountain pastures, fresh herbs from valley gardens, and dairy products from local herds. Dizin, a traditional stew made with lamb, chickpeas, and vegetables, represents the hearty mountain cuisine. Cooked slowly in stone crocks, This dish provides the nutrition needed for life in the harsh mountain environment. The cooking process itself is a social activity, with families gathering around the fire to share stories while the meal slowly simmers. The province's herb gardens produce an incredible variety of fresh herbs that form the foundation of Persian cooking. Sabzi khordan, a plate of fresh herbs served with every meal, reflects the Persian belief in the health benefits of fresh vegetation. These herbs are also dried and preserved for winter use. Dairy products play a crucial role in the traditional diet. Fresh yogurt, cheese, and butter are made from the milk of goats and sheep that graze in the high pastures. Traditional bread, baked in stone ovens, provides the foundation for most meals and reflects techniques that have remained unchanged for centuries. Islam forms the spiritual foundation of life in Alborz Province, but the region's religious practices also reflect its complex history and cultural diversity. The majority of the population follows Shia Islam, but there are also communities of Sunni Muslims, Christians, and adherents of other faiths. The province's mosques range from simple village structures to elaborate urban complexes. The architectural style typically reflects both Persian and Islamic influences, with blue-tile domes and intricate calligraphy adorning the facades. These buildings serve not only as places of worship, but also as community centers and schools. Sufi traditions, with their emphasis on mystical experience and spiritual poetry, have deep roots in the region. The poetry of Hafez and Rumi is widely recited, and Sufi practices of meditation and spiritual music continue to influence local religious life. These traditions often blend Islamic mysticism with pre-Islamic Persian spiritual practices. Religious festivals mark the calendar year and bring communities together. Muharram commemorations, marking the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, feature elaborate passion plays and processions. These events serve both religious and social functions, reinforcing community bonds and cultural identity. The province contains numerous pilgrimage sites, from ancient shrines to modern religious complexes. These sites draw visitors from across Iran and beyond, contributing to the local economy while maintaining spiritual traditions. The combination of natural beauty and religious significance makes many of these sites particularly powerful destinations for spiritual seekers. Alborz Province has emerged as one of Iran's most important industrial centers, with a diversified economy that extends far beyond traditional agriculture. The province's strategic location, skilled workforce, and government support have attracted industries ranging from automotive manufacturing to petrochemicals. The automotive industry represents one of the province's most significant industrial sectors. Major Iranian car manufacturers have established production facilities here, taking advantage of the proximity to Tehran's consumer market and the availability of skilled workers. These plants produce vehicles for both domestic consumption and export to regional markets. Textile manufacturing has deep roots in the province, evolving from traditional handicrafts to modern industrial production. Factories here produce everything from basic fabrics to high-end clothing, serving both domestic and international markets. The industry provides employment for thousands of workers, particularly women who bring traditional skills to modern production methods. Food processing industries transform the province's agricultural output into packaged goods for urban markets. These facilities process everything from dairy products to fruit juices, adding value to local agricultural production and creating employment in rural areas. The industry benefits from both local raw materials and proximity to major consumer markets. Despite rapid industrialization, agriculture remains a vital component of Alborz Province's economy. The combination of fertile soils, adequate water resources, and varied climate zones allows for diverse agricultural production throughout the year. Fruit production is particularly important, with the province's orchards producing apples, pears, cherries, and stone fruits. The mountainous terrain creates numerous microclimates that allow for extended growing seasons and specialty crops. These orchards often use traditional terracing techniques that maximize water use and prevent soil erosion. Vegetable production ranges from traditional field crops to modern greenhouse operations. The proximity to Tehran provides a large market for fresh produce, encouraging farmers to adopt intensive cultivation methods. Greenhouse production allows year-round cultivation of high-value crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers. Livestock raising remains important, particularly in the higher elevations where crop production is difficult. Sheep and goats are well adapted to the mountain environment, and their products, meat, milk, and wool, contribute to both local consumption and commercial markets. Transhumance, the seasonal movement of livestock, continues to be practiced in some areas. Tourism has emerged as a significant economic sector, driven by the province's natural beauty, historical sites, and recreational opportunities. The development of tourism infrastructure has created new sources of income while raising awareness of the region's cultural and natural heritage. Winter sports tourism centers around several ski resorts, with Dizin being among Iran's most popular destinations. The long ski season, from December through April, attracts both domestic and international visitors. These resorts have spurred development of supporting services, including hotels, restaurants, and equipment rental facilities. Summer tourism focuses on hiking, mountain climbing, and nature appreciation. The province's numerous trails and climbing routes attract outdoor enthusiasts from across Iran and beyond. Mountain refuges and camping facilities have been developed to support this growing sector, providing income for local communities while promoting environmental awareness. Cultural tourism draws visitors to historical sites like Alamut Castle and traditional villages. These destinations offer insight into Iran's rich history and cultural diversity. The development of cultural tourism has encouraged the preservation of historical sites and traditional crafts while providing economic opportunities for local communities. Rapid development and population growth have created environmental challenges that threaten the natural beauty and ecological integrity that define Alborz Province. Climate change, water scarcity, and pollution pose serious risks to both natural ecosystems and human communities. Water management presents the most pressing challenge. Increased demand from industrial development and population growth, combined with irregular precipitation patterns, has stressed water resources. The Karaj River and its tributaries face pollution from industrial discharge and urban runoff, threatening water quality for millions of people. Air quality has deteriorated in industrial areas, particularly around Karaj. Vehicle emissions, industrial discharge, and seasonal dust storms contribute to air pollution that affects public health and quality of life. The province's location in a mountain valley can trap pollutants, exacerbating these problems during certain weather conditions. Environmental conservation efforts include reforestation projects, wetland restoration, and wildlife protection initiatives. The government and environmental organizations have launched programs to restore damaged ecosystems and protect endangered species. These efforts recognize that environmental health is essential for long-term economic and social sustainability. The rapid growth of Karaj and other urban centers has created planning challenges that affect both residents and the environment. Urban sprawl threatens agricultural land and natural areas, while inadequate infrastructure struggles to keep pace with population growth. Transportation infrastructure has not kept pace with urban growth, leading to traffic congestion and lengthy commutes. The province's role as a corridor between Tehran and northern Iran adds to transportation pressures. Plans for expanded public transportation and improved highways aim to address these challenges. Housing development has expanded into previously rural areas, changing the character of traditional communities. Urban planners face the challenge of accommodating growth while preserving the qualities that make the province attractive. Smart growth strategies aim to concentrate development while protecting natural and agricultural areas. Economic diversification efforts aim to reduce dependence on traditional industries and create new opportunities for residents. Technology development, renewable energy, and service industries represent areas of potential growth that could transform the province's economic profile. Investment in education and research has created a foundation for knowledge-based industries. Universities and research centers in the province collaborate with industry to develop new technologies and train skilled workers. These institutions serve as incubators for innovation and entrepreneurship. Renewable energy development takes advantage of the province's natural resources, including wind and solar potential. These projects could provide clean energy while creating new employment opportunities. Sustainable development initiatives aim to balance economic growth with environmental protection. As we conclude our journey through Alborz Province, We see a region that embodies both the challenges and opportunities facing modern Iran. This young province, carved from ancient lands, represents the dynamism and complexity of a society, balancing tradition with progress, development with conservation, local identity with global connection. The future of Alborz Province will be shaped by its young population, their education and aspirations, and their ability to address the challenges inherited from rapid development. The province's success in managing growth while preserving its natural and cultural heritage will serve as a model for sustainable development throughout Iran. The preservation of cultural traditions alongside economic modernization remains a central challenge. The province's ability to maintain its distinct identity while participating in Iran's broader development will determine whether future generations inherit a place that honors both its past and its potential. The Alborz Mountains that gave this province its name continue to watch over a land in transition. Their snow-capped peaks remind us that some things endure while others change, that natural beauty and human achievement can coexist when wisdom guides development. From the valleys where ancient civilizations first flourished to the peaks where modern adventurers seek challenge and renewal, Alborz Province stands as a testament to Iran's diversity, resilience, and potential. In this land where mountains meet sky, the future remains as open and promising as the vast horizons that stretch beyond the highest peaks.